There's absolutely no way that this is Zack Snyder's Justice League anymore. Let's just be honest about it. Let's go back a little bit, like to 2 weeks after Batman v Superman came out, where it was like tanked by all the critics, the opposite of what Warner Brothers wanted, but yet they were already locked in and had all the sets built to shoot Justice League. They're literally, y'all got to go and make this movie now. Guess what? They've reshot that movie over 3 times. The horror of it is unfortunately the thing that happened with Snyder's family, because that doesn't make the exit any smoother. No. But these are things that were, the wheels were in motion for many months before this ever happened. Who did they bring in? The guy who made the Avengers. Look, man, yeah, he's rewriting some scenes. The movie that we're gonna see is nothing like the movie that started shooting production a year and a half ago. The San Diego Comic-Con will have the brand new Justice League trailer, which I'm sure will actually have some of the Joss Whedon reshoots in. Look, Junkie XL is a great score guy. He's done on BVS. So look, he did a good job. And the final tally was, look, Joss Whedon's coming in. His imprint is going to be a lot stronger than anyone is saying or wanting to say. But guess what? You know what tells you everything that his imprint is stronger is when they hire a brand new dude to do the musical score 3 months out when there's been a guy working on it for a year. That is trying in a subtle way to tell you, guess what's happening? The entire film is being re-edited. The entire film is being reshot. The entire film is being redirected for the most part. Now, I'm sure because of legal contracts, it's going to say directed by Zack Snyder. But when you come down to like, well, if 50% of it has been rewritten and reshot by this other person.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
No such thing exists.
And nor will they.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
It never existed. I'm glad we're getting this news.
Do you want to tell it to me?
Warner Brothers won't release a cut of Justice League that never existed in the first place.
And we're going to start with this. And hopefully this will be the last time ever that we talk about the Snyder Cut.
It is no joke. It is right on the money. It never existed.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
I'm glad we're getting this news.
This is quite the Pulitzer-winning scoop here.
The Wall Street Journal.
No, it's exactly what I've been telling people too. Look, the people that think that a Snyder Cut exists are just woefully ignorant to how movie productions work.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
Hundreds of thousands of people who are demanding the Snyder Cut. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
I know enough of what's going on behind the scenes to know that, guys, there's no Snyder Cut. It's impossible to put together.
There you go.
It just doesn't exist.
But why does anyone care about the Snyder Cut still? It's like, who cares? It's over. Everyone cares.
But no,
I'm like, wake the fuck up. It's like...
No such thing exists.
And nor will they. And nor will they.
You're talking about the release the Snyder Cut type weirdos?
Yes.
They're weirdos?
The Snyder Cut, that like imaginary unicorn that you guys think is out there, yeah, that doesn't exist.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
Just look to the future. Don't stop looking at the past. You know, it doesn't matter.
There isn't a secret Zack version hidden somewhere. It doesn't exist. There is no cut. We're never gonna see this. It's because it doesn't really exist. Because
but if you ask me, I don't think there is a Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Okay, real talk. Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut. Does this thing actually exist? No, there is no Zack Snyder cut because it don't exist. It really does not.
Like I said, the Snyder cut is not happening. I've got 3 WB sources telling me a Tooth Fairy is more likely to show up at my house with a new cut of the Snyder cut. So Snyder cut ain't happening. So probably not gonna see a Snyder cut for another 20 years.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
I would love to hear your thoughts as an editor about, because I think maybe there's a little misunderstanding about what that cut actually might be. I understand the desire for the fan base to see whatever Zack Snyder would have done, but it's an impossibility, and I
really don't think we're ever going to get the Snyder cut.
That a completed, finished Zack Snyder cut of Justice League exists. It does not. I'm going to tell you right now, it does not.
Do you know anything about the Snyder Cut? Well, I know what a whole bunch of people on Twitter keep crying out for, but it doesn't exist. It's just not happening. It doesn't exist. I mean, I'm still waiting for the Snyder Cut to be released.
Yeah?
No, I'm kidding. It doesn't exist.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
An assembly of his version is maybe, what would you put it at? I'd put it at 35 minutes. Put it at 35 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure there wasn't even music over it.
No.
Like, that's not a cut of a movie.
We are talking about a significant amount of money. A lot of money.
They would have to put millions of dollars to getting this thing finished. They'll put it, it's got raw material and unfinished CGI.
The amount of money that Warner Brothers would have to put into it to create a Zack Snyder cut, I just don't think it's financially viable for them to do it. So, I mean, personally, I don't see it happening.
But it doesn't exist.
But it doesn't
He
exist.
didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the fans who clamor for things that don't actually exist. This has just been the stupidest internet meme that I can recall in some time.
Instead of just sending a hashtag Snyder, release a Snyder Cut, and yell and scream, I don't know, look around.
He just can't tell them type of stories, man. I like Zack Snyder a lot as a director.
And I'm a Zack Snyder fan.
Now, you guys have heard me talk about Zack Snyder. I'm a big Zack Snyder fan.
I do know this. He needs to stop with the bullshit. He needs to get off social media.
And
he
stop
needs to
trolling.
stop with trolling with all the Justice League stuff. He is not doing himself any favors.
I'm like, that's cool, but you're living in a fucking dream world, okay?
And all he's doing is turning off other producers and studios from wanting to work with them.
I'm like, wake the fuck up. It's like,
I hated Man of Steel. I thought he blew dick in BVS. And in Justice League, I was like, oh, I can get behind this Henry Cavill. He sounds like a moron. This.
I don't care. I don't care. It's
Yeah,
like, I mean,
it's so over.
For me,
And they want the Zack Snyder cut, which probably doesn't exist, to be released. This will never happen.
Zack Snyder fans think movies are just a bunch of scenes in a row.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen Thor. I haven't seen Justice League.
Did you like Thor?
Yeah, I did.
You did. It's a buddy comedy, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and that's what's missing. That's what's been missing from the DC universe.
But the more shocking one is Gal. Gal came out and said release the Snyder Cut, and that's weird to me.
Going along with the hype.
I think that's what it is. Huh?
That's the only thing it is.
So it's really curious and baffling to me that she wants to release this old Wonder Woman of the past. He says the lead actor for Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, tweeted out the Snyder Cut hashtag. Dave Bautista also hyping that shit up on Twitter. I don't want no Snyder Cut to be released because at this point, if it comes out, I'll watch it. Keep that shit in the vault, dead in editing. Don't put that shit together because at the end of the day, bro, I know the fandom. Fandom is toxic. You give fandom a marshmallow, they'll live off that shit for 3 weeks. These haters, bro, they don't listen to logic, bro. I sat back in 2016 when this BVS first came out, and I had the very first BVS rant on YouTube. There was one rant on YouTube at one point, and it was mine. When everybody else, go look at Chris Stuckman's review of that shit. He gave it a B.
I'm going to give Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice a C+.
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is. Question there. I mean, I can't answer it. It's the two executives, maybe four executives, who made several $1 million of Christmas bonuses by rushing that out November 17th. Who knows how many people made what? I'm not in charge of that division. So,
Schnepp, is there any world when we could ever see the Snyder Cut?
Yes, there is.
Baby.